Okay? But just write the number 1 on the top of your paper. And then below that, write 10. Okay? And then below that, what's 10 times 10?
100.
So write 100 below that, below the 10. And then what will be next if you multiply it by 10?
1,000.
And then below that?
10,000.
And then the next one?
100,000.
And then the next one?
1 mil.
And then the next one?
10 mil.
And then the next one?
100 mil.
And then the next one?
1 billion.
How many times did it take to do that, starting with 1? So if you would find 10 people that you can support to understand and get to that point of within themselves of realizing, hey, I'm actually alive in this reality to make it best for myself and everybody else. Let's say you can support them to switch their starting point as to why they think they're here, rather than just like survival, try to get as much as I can, or just accept my place and what I've been given. You see like the difference in the starting point. And then that person got 10 people, and that person got 10 people, and everybody got 10 people. I'm just giving you an example. Within 10 iterations of that, you have 1 billion people. Do you really need 1 billion people even to change everything? What percentage of people run everything right now?
1%.
Is it even 1%?
Probably 0.01%.
Yeah, maybe
0.1.
0.01. I mean, I don't know how we could really know for sure what that is, but it's got to be less than 1%. So, but what is 1% of 1 billion? It's 100 million, right? I'm sorry,
10,000 of 1 million.
1 million, right? So let's say, would you agree it could be conceivable that 1 million people run the planet, or it's probably less, yeah?
Yeah.
But let's just say it's 1 million. I mean, all the politicians in France, plus all the politicians in Germany and the US. I mean, think of every politician. Every politician is a person who can influence the laws, yes? Okay, so let's say every politician is important. Maybe there's 1 million politicians. I don't know what the number is. But if we had 1 million people who understood what we were talking about, could we have then enough politicians to go in there and make the difference?
Yeah.
How do you mass market something that goes against the desires of most people? Because it's the desires of most people that it's creating collectively the world that we have. It's not like what we're talking about is the next step. It's the next evolution. It's the cutting edge. It's not what most people want. But don't you know deep down it is what most people would want if they were thinking rationally?
Yep.
Like you know that because you know it for yourself. But you do know it takes some time to uncover all those layers and really like question yourself and not just accept things. It's hard. That's what we call self-honesty. That's not something you do overnight. It can be a point where you realize it in a moment, but then you got to really challenge it. You got to keep going. So if do you see what I'm saying is why we have to look at what's our definitions of success, why we have to challenge those things? Because you could spend your entire life pursuing those things. And I'm not saying you can't get it. You can get those things. But then what are you going to do? It's going to be too late then. Why do I say that? Guys, really, let's be honest with each other for a moment. How quickly has the world changed in just a couple months?
Very fast.
Like, I mean, do you guys agree with me? Like, there's some fundamental shit happening right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like, it's not a joke anymore. It's not a game. It's not just pretend. Like, we went from, oh, there's the Illuminati's controlling the world, blah, 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 and everyone's like, yeah, okay, whatever, to literally every country is like locking everybody down, straight up, borders closed, you know, economy's crashing, like, oh shit, somebody is fucking controlling things. Like, that's not a coincidence. I mean, think about it. Trump tried to close the borders in the US, and what did everybody say? He's racist, phobic, all these things, right? Pandemic hits, all the borders are closed immediately. I mean, relatively immediately. No mass resistance, no articles about how it, I mean, yeah, there were some initially, but then once everybody started doing it, it was done. It's almost like somebody gave the order of like, okay, this is what we're doing next. Is that what's happening? I don't know. I'm not saying there's a person there calling the shots necessarily, but you see how everybody just went along with this point. That's our collective level of education in this world. So how long is it going to be, would you guys estimate, before everybody requires some kind of computer chip, microchip tracking device that tells you whether you've been vaccinated from all the different coronavirus strains, etc.?
Could be 5 years, maybe.
1 year.
Can you see it's starting
Yeah,
with inevitable? Can you see that? And I know people are like,
I
oh, I would never.
That I see right now, yeah, I can definitely see how like it's definitely headed in our direction, and like you see interviews and stuff with people that have talked about this agenda for a long time, and it's interesting now to see all these pieces moving in real time. And
you're like,
the way
okay, all those things really were in place and planned and all this shit. Now, if everybody had everything they needed, and people used common sense, and people were creative and able to do what they wanted to do because everybody had the starting point of they would never in any way, unconsciously or otherwise, harm other people, why would it matter whether we have microchips and whether we're tracked and all that shit? Why would that matter? The only reason why anybody would be afraid of it is why?
Because they have something to hide.
Because why?
They have something to hide.
Okay, sure. But I mean, what is it that everyone knows about the people who are going to control that technology?
Can't be trusted.
Well, aren't they just doing it because they're trying to get you to be dumber and to be in more control so they can have more power? Do you trust another human being to have the responsibility of overseeing that system?
Nope.
This is what I'm talking about. And even if you become really rich, and from the perspective of whatever you think that means, and have all the things you want, let's say you have a kid, and the government says that kid has to be transgender or whatever because someone says that they are. And you're like, I don't agree with that. They're like, okay, well, then we're shutting down all of your digital currency accounts. I'm just giving you an example. Or whatever the next thing is, that is, this is what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say, and you don't agree with it. Why is Lady Gaga endorsing Joe Biden? Do you know why?
Nope.
Why is that?
Because she doesn't get a choice about who she endorses or doesn't endorse. A record label or her producers or whatever says, the studio would be really upset if you didn't endorse Joe Biden.
And that if she has no choice, and if she doesn't pick it, then her career is over.
Right.
It's like the thing that we see.
Right. This is what you see it over and over again with celebrities who toe the line versus don't toe the line. I don't know if y'all saw that post I made recently. It was just right before the call, or during the call, or the beginning rather, about John Cusack, where he said that he made a tweet saying that 5G could be very dangerous to people's health.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's getting crazy on him. And then if you read the article, it mentions how there's these crazy conspiracies saying that 5G is linked to coronavirus. John Cusack did not say that. But because he's expressing concerns about 5G's health, implications, they're saying see all this crazy talk about 5G and coronavirus. It's just crazy. How can you believe 5G causes coronavirus? So they're trying to discredit his ability to say, hey, we should look at the effects of this technology because somebody else linked it to coronavirus. He didn't say anything about coronavirus. But you see how the level of education and the level of information processing ability, people will just go along with whatever. And it's funny.
They can make it appear to be whatever they want it to be.
Right.
Like in a way to get people to buy into that narrative.
Right, exactly. It's just whatever the mass media says is the truth. You know, and like there's this app here in the States, I don't know if it's anywhere else, called Nextdoor. And it's like basically each neighborhood, you sign up for it, and then it's like you can kind of interact with all of your neighbors in your like general area, right? And I don't ever go on it, but Katie has it, and she was telling me how like all day, every day since this whole coronavirus thing started, it's like everybody on there going, yeah, I was at the park yesterday and I saw people walking around without masks, and somebody should really start videotaping people and like reporting them and shit like that. I'm like, holy fuck.
Wow.
Like one of the books that I read when I was younger was 1984. I read it. My stepsister's dad gave it to me as a gift. He was a literature teacher, high school literature teacher, and he gave it to me when I was like in 6th or 7th grade. And I read it, and it just blew my mind. But when you read it, you're like, fuck, man, that is where we're going. It has to be, because otherwise, how can people be trusted to live in a society if they're just always thinking about their own self-interest only? If life itself, think about this, Roman, is the principle of always expanding beyond any limit at all times, no matter what the limits are, or perfecting itself within those limits, but always seeking to expand beyond those limits, meaning infinite choice. How can you be trusted with that? If every person on this planet right now, as who they are right now, was immediately given the ability to manifest whatever they want right now, what would the world look like?
Hey, dumb.
And don't you think the elite know that? Remember what Kevin says in Your Wish Is Your Command? The elite don't trust the average person with these abilities, with these powers. Now, does the elite have that kind of infinite ability? No, but they do have manifestation at the level of, because they control the system, they have access to everybody's creative ability. So they can manifest a lot more than an individual right now can, like an average person. So what's the only way that everybody can be trusted with that kind of ability and power?
Education.
Yes. If we walk the process of changing ourselves so that we can trust ourselves, like we'll know within ourselves, yeah, I trust myself. Like I believe, like I know what I choose in each moment based on what the options are and so forth. And most of it, 99 point whatever fucking percent, is subconscious, unconscious. So it's not about what you think in the moment, because your thoughts are very slow compared to the rate at which things happen within you. Can you guys see why this is important, especially now? You know, and I get it. Not everybody's going to respond to this. Some people are going to be like, oh, I was just here because I want to make a lot of money and stuff. Okay, that's fine. Keep doing your thing and just keep coming back and listening to what we're saying. Because really, though, at the end of the day, this is called the Self-Leaders Club for a reason. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anybody have any comments? I would really highly recommend to check out that video that Mitch and I did called The Big Picture. And if you would, share it as well. Go to Mitch's page and like to the original post and share it from there. Like don't share it otherwise. I think that helps. That's more effective if you share the original video or something. And if you like it or whatever, That'll be helpful because what we'll do is we'll just keep adding more people to what we're doing. And here's the cool thing, guys, just to kind of end on a, let's say, quote, positive note. You can still get rich as fuck. You can still get all the stuff you want. Becoming effective and understanding these things does not mean suddenly you're like some doom and gloom weirdo. I don't mind playing that role. You don't have to. You could just be like I think Mitch is a great example. And he's not the only one. I'm just using him because I was talking to him yesterday. He doesn't come across as like, oh, the world's ending. He's just like, hey, I'm a really cool guy and I'm into all this stuff and like it's fun and we're having a good time changing the world. Use whatever personality characteristics work for you. But it's time we got to go find those people out there in this world who are just like us that just needed someone to be like, hey, do you want the red pill or the blue pill? Many people will take the blue pill and they'll go back to sleep. Those people will be helped when there's bigger changes made in this world that alleviate a lot of the survival pressures that are giving them all the frames of reference that I need to keep things the way they are. Otherwise, my life is totally unstable. We'll get to those people too.